and welcome to Gierok Farms. Today me and Mason are running the show. We gotta bale some straw. The oats were just harvested off that new seeding piece a couple days ago, and we've had some good drying days, so we're gonna take advantage of it and bale some straw, get some straw up in the barn. So it's time to go rake. Mason, he's getting on the 1650. I'll get on the 686, and we'll go find our rakes and get out there. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoy the video. Maybe we won't use the 1650. I'll check the belt here. The belt's squealing. Quiet it down now. Rev it up. It is a little loose, but if we tighten it, then it's just going to rub more on this pipe here. We'll try it.
Just run it.
Run it. I think we're just going to have to remember to get a new belt for that thing. That thing's looking pretty rough, and we're kind of out of room to tension it, so. I don't know, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that belt. Keep slipping, it's always something, never ending. But even if we do lose the belt, pretty close to home today, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, I figured I'd take a minute or so here to explain how we're raking this, because it's a bit unique compared to hay. It's plain as day to see that the combine left a really nice big windrow, but the windrow is maybe only like a quarter of the size of the head width, and we didn't have him turn his chopper on, and even if he did, I think it would just pulverize it too much. So Dad went right where the combine windrowed it with the tedder and kind of fluffed it out. And then now we're taking the rakes and we're putting one side right at the center and we're throwing it out, and then we're turning right around on the other end, and then we're throwing it out the other way. That way the windrows don't get too big. That way they dry really nice and the baler will take them really easy. I am noticing too that the straw itself is very fine and it's chopped up really nice going through that rotary combine. so it should spread easy in the barns. But we got to take our time when it comes to raking. We can't go as fast, otherwise we're losing a lot of chaff. I've heard from some guys they actually like using those old Walker style combines without a rotor so that the straw stays longer. I guess there's pros and cons to an older style combine versus the new rotor styles, but we don't mind it chopped up fine like this. It spreads easy in the barn, and it does the same job. It just you do get a little bit more loss, I guess you could say. Anyways, we better keep up to Mason here. We're well over halfway done with the field, so. We finished raking the field. Mason, he headed up to the yard. He staged that rake there. That's supposed to go to the other shed anyways, but we'll probably end up using it to push our back cut back in. We pushed it out to start with just to make it easier, and being there's two of us while we're baling, we'll push it in when we get there. But I want to come out here and check and see how dry things are getting, how long we gotta wait before we bring the balers out. She's bone dry. I'd say another half hour would be out here, especially with this light breeze. Sun's shining like no other. If it wasn't for that Canadian wildfire smoke, it'd be a perfectly clear day. But anyways, we'll head up to the yard and get the baler ready. Mid-video here though, I want to remind you guys to check out GierokFarms.com. That's our very own website. We got some t-shirts, some hats, some sweatshirts on there, and my wife and I pack the orders ourselves, so go check us out, GierokFarms.com. Get yourself one of these awesome hats. Okay, we just finished up greasing the baler, and then we spent some time trying to diagnose a hydraulic leak. Looks like it's coming out of remote number 1 and then a little out of remote number 2, judging by the leak on the floor and some of the dust thrown on it. Dad must have knew about it, but Mason and I were talking, if the leak gets bad enough, we'll just swap to the remote number 3, as right now is for baler swing in and out, which you're only using for transporting down the road and then opening up into the field. Being we're on a nice big field like that, and we're not going to be messing with that spout on the back of the baler very much, probably be okay to just leave it there for now. So we'll feel that out as we're going. But things should be pretty dry, so we're going to head out there and get to baling. We are baling straw. This first load we are going to stack so that we can store it in the shed on the rack until you know, late next winter or early spring, because for third crop we will not need all these hay racks. So Mason, he's going to take the first shift stacking, and I'll finish her off. Just stopped and checked bale tension. We're really happy with where it was set at originally, so we're going to run with it. The bales aren't too big. We're happy with it. We got one full wagon made and almost stacked completely full. That's going to be the one we stored. Mason, he stacked that whole thing. He didn't want to switch off. Asked him twice, I guess, whatever. But anyways, I hopped on the Oliver, break that back cut in, dropped it over at the new shed now that we're done and it's out of the way with it. Then I just ran up to the yard here to grab another wagon. He should be about half full now here. Hopefully everything's going well for him. Looks like he's got some knotter trouble. What's going on, Mason?
When it switched balls, it just caught that knot in between the balls.
You got it retie it already?
It still caught it though, which is weird.
Okay.
But I had to cut it out of the knotter because it's kind of like hung up on there.
Okay. All right, well, we'll stay around here and see if she keeps going. well, it tied it, and then I don't know if it isn't tying it right or if it was doubled up here, because it ripped this one. Once the bill hooks went again, this one broke here. See it? But we're in there. Maybe I'll watch it closer here. We'll see what it does. It looks like it's riding okay.
Yeah.
The tension feels about the same.
Well, it's done this for the past 5 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's just not high.
Well, it's making a knot, but
Yeah, it's pulling itself out.
yeah. Maybe they're too tight. Maybe we turn it down. So I don't know if something's catching or if it's just too tight. We tried loosening it. We're gonna see what happens. Yeah, that's tight enough. I think that solved it. They seem really loose in there, but when it shot it out, it's tight enough. They're always gonna be loose in here. All right. I'll kick that windrow over. Test this one. Alright, we're going to try that setting. Even if they are on the looser side, when we're unloading them and stacking them, we'll just have to be a bit carefuler, but we also can't be pulling the knot through the whole time. We're already over half done, so got to keep going while the sun's out. We can't be playing with that knotter, and those knotters take a lot of fine tuning. Okay, we got this wagon packed the rest of the way full. we're gonna go put it away in our other shed. Mason, he's just starting in on that back cut now. I think he's got all those short rows done on the other end of the field. So I think we're gonna have two medium-sized loads to unload when we're all done here. So one fully stacked, packed to the gills, and two medium-sized ones. That ain't too bad. Pretty happy with how things are going so far today. We have all of the straw unloaded. Mason and Owen are just finishing stacking up there right now. All we have left to do is clean up some of this chaff that we have left over. So it's been a really solid day. I appreciate you guys coming along with us. Thanks for the support. Without you guys, we wouldn't be putting them out as often as we do. Remember, subscribe if you haven't already. It helps us out a lot. We're almost to 100,000. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and share it with your friends. We will see you all next time.